Hey guys, welcome to Wouldn't Be a Drama a GL podcast where we recap and theorize about Pluto, the series. My name is Jasmine, and hello to my lovely co-host Linda. Linda, what's up? How are you?
What's up? I'm doing great. Just let the dogs go potty. Living the life.
Auntie duties.
Literally, auntie duties before co-host duties.
Mm.
So.
How do you say auntie in Cambodian? I know how to say it in like Tagalog. And also I know how to say it in Spanish.
I guess it depends if like they're older than you or younger than you. But it could be like Ming.
Ming yeah. Duties. Okay.
Or
Yeah, Om. You're on your Om duties.
Yeah, right.
You know what we forgot to do last episode though, right?
Oh, we forgot to introduce ourselves.
We forgot to introduce ourselves and talk about how we even know each other in the first place.
Yes, I mean,
why are we doing this? Why are we doing this podcast together?
Exactly. You guys probably do want to know how Jazz and I know each other, and why the heck are we doing this podcast, right?
So how we met is a funny story. On my end, it's a funny story. I don't know, on your end it might be a little creepy, but on my end it's funny.
Nope, I didn't think so.
So about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, I was going through a really, really bad breakup. And yeah, I was watching a lot of random YouTube videos because I had nothing else to do. And I came across Linda's reaction channel. And she was reacting to Dreamcatcher, and I had just gotten into Dreamcatcher, and I fell in love with them. And yeah, I was watching her channel. I binge watched a lot of her videos because I had nothing else to do, and she was entertaining. And so yeah, and so I went on Instagram and I slipped into her DMs. Basically,
but it's not what you guys are.
It's
thinking.
not in a romantic way at all.
Yes,
not in a romantic way at all. I wasn't even expecting you to even respond to my message, to be honest. Yeah, and we've been friends ever since.
We've been actually great friends ever since, and we even went to a Dreamcatcher concert together.
We did.
After that, we went to go grab, I guess, a late night dinner even. And ever since then, the rest is kind of just history.
Yeah.
And so with how we started this podcast, Jazz and I, we watch a lot of the same things. We have a lot of things in common, whether it be like Dreamcatcher or even GL series.
Or K-pop in general.
Also, yes. Our personalities are pretty similar, and even the way we think. And so her and I, we voice note a lot. And we voice note a lot back and forth about GL series. And then kind of one day, the idea just came to us, about, I mean, why not start a podcast?
Yeah, like, we're literally just talking to each other right now anyway. Might as well have other people listen in.
Exactly, other people listen in.
Why not?
Maybe you guys can agree or disagree. We can all talk about it. Maybe start like a community where it's a safe space to talk about, what you love, what you enjoy doing. And that's why, this is kind of where we're at now.
Yeah. It was kind of a right time, right place type of thing. Yeah.
Yep, that is right. And I guess kind of segue into that, we are going to be talking about episode 2 of Pluto.
Episode 1 ended with Own going to May's house after she got into that, like, kind of disagreement with her grandma, where she was kind of like, if I was the one in the accident, would you be this upset? Like, would you be this upset like you are with Om right now? And so she goes to May's house because she's in her feelings and she's sad. And then her and May, May ends up comforting her and they end up cuddling. And May gets real shy because apparently they've never done that before. So.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And then, we pick up in episode 2 with Owen getting a phone call while they're in the middle of cuddling. Kind of. And so she leaves to take that phone call, and it's Jan on the other line. and Jan is like, hey, so it turns out the accident might have been intentional. We gotta find out if Owen and Paul have any enemies, basically. And so now Owen is like, oh crap, maybe May is behind all this, because she's like, I don't know anything about May. Like, maybe May is behind all this. And so it's funny because as soon as she has that thought, May comes out. And so she ends that phone call with Jan, and Jan pretty much texts her saying, meet me at the police station if you even consider yourself to be Owen's sister anymore. And I'm like, ooh, dang, Jan, okay.
And a little feisty.
Spicy. Yeah, a little feisty there. Okay.
Uh-huh. And
I mean, you can tell that's the best friend because she's not putting up with any of Owen's shit.
Exactly. And that's where we get introduced to a book.
Yeah, a little bit.
Played,
yep.
And she plays
Pim.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that is Peng's girlfriend.
Yes.
Yep. Saizi's girlfriend, basically. Okay, so now in episode 2, they're trying to figure out the cause of the accident. There's more to it. And basically, Pim, was she talking to, was it the sergeant? And the sergeant basically wants to close the case. He wants nothing to do with it. He doesn't want her to look further into it.
Yeah, and in his eyes, it's just an accident. It was just an accident.
Yeah, and which is also, to me, I thought it was very suspicious. But I guess come to find out, Paul was driving under the influence.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, at least so they say.
Yeah, as far as we know so far, Paul was the one, he was driving drunk and wasn't paying attention, and that's how they got into that accident.
Right. And so here's what I was thinking. Well, first of all, you shouldn't, drive under the influence regardless.
Very dangerous.
Yes. But also, what caused him, I mean, because, obviously it's his wedding, right? So you're going to be intoxicated. But, to the extent of, driving, and then why did also get into the car with him knowing that he was under the influence? Because that's why I was like, was it really just that? Was he really just under the influence and they got into an accident? Because I thought they got a phone call and they had left.
So when I rewatched that scene, so at the end of, well, not the end of episode 1, but in episode 1, when Owen was asking Owen to pretend to be her to break up with May for her.
Right.
After that altercation, we see Paul come out and it's like, hey, I thought we would tell each other everything type of thing. And so she's like, okay, I'll tell you everything. My guess is that she was telling him while they were in the car everything that was going on, with the whole May situation. And he got distracted. Because in that scene, you can see him looking at her before they crash. So I think that she was telling him, everything that was going on. And he got distracted and wasn't paying attention. And that's how they ended up crashing.
See, I don't think so. I don't think that she told him the truth. And I don't think she was ever going to tell him the truth.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And why I think this way is because you had all the chances to tell him.
True.
Before you guys got married, even before you guys got into a relationship. Why didn't you tell him sooner? Why now? Because that's crucial.
Because now the pressure's on. Her sister won't help her. I said now the pressure's on. Her sister won't help her.
Right. Because, when they were investigating, they did get a phone call. So that's still, right. So that's still something that's left and we don't know who called them. Something happened. So, which is why I think that, there's much more to it than him driving under the influence. I mean, obviously, if that did cause an accident, he was drunk, right? And drove, right. But yeah. Okay, so moving on.
Yeah. So before we even see that part, because that happens later on in the episode. But it's good to get that out there now because I mean that's a big part of the drama, like what happened with that car accident. We see go back to May's place, and we meet a member of May's family.
Yes,
we meet her cousin.
Right, and here I was thinking like, oh my god, she has nobody but her. Is it her maid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, where's her family members?
Mm-hmm.
But we finally meet her cousin.
Yeah, we meet her cousin. I don't remember his name right now. Is it?
I do not. I don't.
Tone? Is it Tone? Maybe.
Is that what it is?
Maybe. I don't remember. I have to look it up. But yeah, we meet her cousin, and he is real hard trying to get her to go to like this specialty doctor for blind people to try and like, I don't know, maybe try to get her sight back or just go back home to her parents in general so they can help her. And she is very strongly against that. She does not want to go home. Nope. She does not want to go home. And so they kind of get into it, and then Owen steps in, and which is apparently really out of character because they have not, Owen and her family have not met each other yet.
Correct.
So if Owen had met her family and Owen just busts in there is like, yo, what are you doing? That could have been real bad because she could have blown her cover. So she's lucky that no one in May's family knows who she is.
Otherwise, that would have been...
That would have been bad. Yeah, that would have been bad. But, so yeah, they meet, and May's cousin is, I think, gonna try and, like, pick her up later on that day or the next day to, like, go to the doctor or, like, a doctor's appointment or something like that. And so now May's like, I just kind of want to run away. Like, I don't want to be here. And so Ohm decides, you know what? We're going to go.
Let's go. Right.
Yeah, let's go.
And a lot happened while they were, running away, per se. We have the accident. Because apparently Owen said that she was going to go save a kitty or kitten. Like...
Did she? I don't remember that part.
I remember she said she was gonna say, because
I'm trying to remember.
It was Pang.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
She distracted Owen.
Yeah. I remember that now. She got
away from her, and then May ended up getting into an accident, and obviously Owen was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I went to go save a kitty." Like, girl, you couldn't have used any other excuse. But you're saying you wanted to go save a kitty. Like,
I remember that now.
Right.
I remember that now. Yeah.
But hey, I guess to each their own.
Yeah. There is one thing in this episode that I'm really appreciative of, though, is like the awareness that it builds for people with disabilities. Because, people without disabilities, we take that stuff for granted. Like, we don't have to worry about how we're going to get to A to B. Or if we can, like, feel around to see where we're going. Or how we're going to get to where we're going and stuff like that. Like, because when Un and May are out and they get on the bus and that bus driver asks May, like, for her disability ID, she's like, why do I need to show you my disability ID? Like, can't you just see that I'm disabled? Like, you see me with my walking stick. Like, obviously I can't see. He's like, well, we just need your card so that you can get the discount. And she's like, I don't want to have to show you my card just to get a discount. And Ohm's like, I mean, you could just show him your ID. She's like, yeah, but you don't have to show him an ID to prove that you're not blind. That shut her up real quick. She's like, you know what? That's true. I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And then,
and
then when they're walking around before Owen goes to save that kitty, when she's walking around and May's like explaining to her like, we need a better system for people who are disabled. Because, I can't read these signs. Like, I need to be able to use Braille to, like, read what I'm doing and where I'm at. Mm-hmm. We need a better system in this country for, like, disabled people. And we don't have that right now. And that's when... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's when Pong decided to show up and ruin it all.
Right. So I definitely agree with you. I think it definitely brings... awareness. Yeah, because because we are able, thankfully, we
Yeah.
are able to see. So you don't really think about what someone that is blind. You don't think about what they're going through,
right?
Because honestly, I was, ignorance is bliss. Because remember the scene where May was on the laptop.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people, they were questioning.
How can she use a laptop?
She's not blind, right? They're like, she's not blind. She's using a laptop. But you obviously educated me, and you're like, no, there's a lot of disabled people that can use laptops.
Yeah. There's like a voice feature that you can use for laptops if you're blind. Like there's different ways you can use a laptop if you're blind.
Has no idea.
I give so much credit to film for like doing all the research that she did when preparing for this show. Mm-hmm. Like I was watching one of the workshops, and she walked around this house like she couldn't see. Yeah. Like she trained her eyes to not like pay attention. Oh no, she had her eyes shut. She had her eyes shut, and she just walked around, and she just felt where she was going. I mean, obviously Namtam was there with her to like help if she needed it, but she was cooking with her eyes shut.
Yes,
I was like, dang, the dedication.
So I was watching their Pluto special. Was it Pluto special? And I think they did go behind the scenes with Namtan and Film a little bit about Film learning with her character, and basically just learning how to act when you're not able to see.
Yeah.
And when you really put that into perspective, that's very difficult. And Namtan, or not Film, I'm sorry, makes it, she does it seamlessly. They take their role serious, right?
Yeah.
Because you can tell that it shows in the acting as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's when you have her kind of like staring into the abyss, you're like,
right.
Oh my gosh,
right.
Like that's great. Like her acting is. Really
it's like she's looking at you, but she's not looking at you.
Right. Mm-hmm. And like that is really great acting.
Right. And I give it up to Namtan too, because she's playing two characters in this show. That's tough.
I mean, imagine.
Especially the flashbacks.
And then imagine having to change your voice, but not only your voice, your whole demeanor, your character, your personality. Like that's also very tough. And the roles that they were given, honestly, I think they've executed it thus far.
And I will say, we did get more insight in this episode as to the relationship between Un and at the beginning, because we find out that was sick a lot as a kid. We found out she was very sick as a kid. She was always in and out of the hospital, and her and Un were like tight, like they were like this besties, and they were always together, always with each other. And then tragically, their parents passed away, taking to the hospital, or trying to take to the hospital. And people are rude. Like those two ladies just talking about them like that right in front of their faces. These little kids. It's like, calm down. They just lost their parents. Why are you gossiping?
Seriously, some people do not care.
Oh my gosh.
I do want to revert back to episode 1 when we were talking about the grandma, and now that we saw what happened in episode 2 with like the flashback, them growing up, they were close, and then with she was her health wasn't the greatest,
right?
So I think that's why it seems like the grandma, because you did say that you think that grandma favored more, and now when you look at it, she wasn't in the best health, so she had you're paying extra attention more to and obviously it's making the oldest
feel left out.
Feel left out.
I think so. That's the way you can balance that. Come on, you have 2 grandkids that both need you. Like, you can't just put all your favoritism on one.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe because I didn't really grow up with grandparents. Like, I mean, I did a little bit, but like they didn't really have favorites between me and my cousins. So because I don't have siblings that are my age. So no, call her right now. Call her. Like, grandma. Who do you love more?
Yeah. Who do you love more?
She's like, I love you both equally. That's a lie.
Right.
Who do you love more, Grandma?
Right. And see, that's why I think it's, I think it's different for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I get why got special treatment and stuff because she was sick. Yeah. But
you also think that
I feel like
she could have paid more attention to Un as well. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think so. I mean, even if Un was like a little troublemaker as a kid, what kid isn't?
but also, some kids act out because they're not getting that attention.
Sure.
Right? And maybe that's why she acted out, because she wasn't getting that attention that she wanted, that Grandma was giving to her sister. And so she did that for attention. Like, she's like, why do you not care as much about me? That you care for my sister, but it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, so it's not. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just feel so bad for Un. I relate to Un. I relate to Un a little bit.
I think we see that she exterior wise, she pretends like she's strong.
Yeah.
But
she's a softie
internally,
on the inside.
She's a big softie.
She's a softie.
Right?
You could tell that in episode 1. Yeah. Especially when she asked Grandma, like, would you really be this upset if it was me? You could see that. It came through. And May ended up going to the planetarium for a little date.
That's right.
Yeah, they ended up going to the planetarium.
That was very romantic.
It was that was a nice scene. There was that scene that we were confused about for a minute until we realized, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense now. Where was like, oh, so Obum doesn't like coming here? And May's like, yeah, no. I usually just come here by myself. And she's like, but you seem to like it now. So.
Right. Okay, so, with that, do you think May got suspicious at all?
Yes and no. I don't know. I'm so confused. I'm so confused because I don't know if she knows and she's just playing it off that she doesn't know, or if she truly just doesn't know. Like, there are some things that she says and does that makes me feel like she has to know this isn't Mm-hmm. And then there's some things I'm like, okay, maybe she really doesn't know.
Right. Because you're kind of like, is she playing oblivious or...
Right.
She really... But here's my thing. Okay, so, because, her vision, we obviously know that. But your senses, like, you once you lose one, the others
kind of heighten. Yeah.
Yes. And, they say not... Even if you're twins, whether you're fraternal twins or you're identical twins, you're not the same. You have a
little bit of differences. A little bit.
Yes. So whether it's your voice, your mannerisms, your scent, whatever it is, right? So I think that she's definitely getting suspicious. And this leads up to the cockroach scene. Pause.
Before we get to the cockroach scene, we get there, I want to say, that whole planetarium date, that was cute.
It was adorable.
And then we got another phone call from Jan.
Right.
Talking about, like, the accident and how Paul's parents are closing the case because they don't want their family to look bad because their son was drinking and driving. And then we get the planetarium date, and then that was so cute. And May, I don't know if she broke my heart or if she filled my heart. But she was saying how all in one day she felt fear, she felt joy, she felt love, and all that was from aka Un. And Un's just sitting there like, oh God. Like you're in love with me, but I'm not who you think I am. And she's just in her feelings, and she's like, that sounds really sad. And May's like, no, it's not sad. She's like, because I feel all these things when I'm with you, and I always want to be with you, basically. Right. And that makes Un feel probably even shittier. Even worse. Yeah. Exactly. Because she's pretending to be her sister.
And imagine somebody saying all this to you, knowing that you're not the person that you say or they think that you are.
Exactly.
But deep down, you're falling for them. You're like, oh my, like, it's it's a mind.
Yeah.
F.
Yeah. I feel like right now, Un is feeling all the love that she wishes she felt growing up in May, but it's not real for her because she's not her sister.
Right.
And I feel so bad for Un. I mean, I feel bad for May too, but I feel worse for Un in this moment because she's finally feeling love, and it's not even love for her. Even though it kind of is because she's the one doing all of this for May, but May doesn't know that.
But also, but what if it is love for her because May knows that it's not her, and she's like, you know what?
I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah.
Until she tells me the truth.
Because she's already going with everything at this point. I mean, like, okay. She's obviously suspicious because we have the scene where when they come back from the planetarium, and so the cousin's there, the maid's there, and she's like, everybody leave.
True.
And you're like, whoa, when did this come out? So, and we have to talk. She's a lawyer.
She is a lawyer.
She is a freaking lawyer.
She is a lawyer. Yeah, we didn't mention that before. Yep, May is a lawyer.
She cannot easily be deceived. Like, this girl is the best at playing mind games. Not only mind games, but, like, talking games.
True. Never trust a lawyer.
No. You don't know if they're lying or not. You're like, wow, you're good at, you're talking me up.
Yeah.
Right?
And then...
So...
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So, obviously, she said that... What did she say? Like, at the end when she told everybody to leave and she said she was going to... I have something that I need to figure out. Or something like that at the end. That scene.
I'm looking it up real quick.
Okay.
Because I gotta know now. But I remember that scene too, like before that, when she got off that bike and she tried to give... She wanted to give her a hug and just would not do it.
Oh.
I was like, give that girl a hug. What the hell?
That scene.
Give her a hug. Me. Yeah.
I know.
Like, after all the stuff she's been through today, she fell on the ground because she ran into a sign.
Literally, because you went to go save a cat.
Yeah, a.k.a. Talk the Pond.
Yeah. Literally, like, ma'am, you couldn't give this girl a freaking hug after you freaking left her and she hurt herself,
Okay, so, yeah, she told her cousin, Tong. I was right, his name is Tong. She told him that they need to leave because she needs to think.
It goes into the next scene where she calls...
Yeah, it goes into the next scene where we see like sitting at home sulking, and it's like, you deserve better. You'd be better off without me and And she's like, I was like, you're gonna ghost this girl, aren't you? Like, you're just gonna disappear, and she's never gonna see you again. Like, that's what your plan is right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then May calls her, and I'll let you take this scene because you love this scene.
Yeah, May calls her. Boy, and, she's like, you need to get over here right now. She's freaking, trying to save the day, barges in, and you have the freaking cockroach. She's like, there's a freaking cockroach in my room. Can you please save me? Meanwhile, is the one that's not afraid of cockroaches. We're dealing with On here, right? Oh my god, so that you have May. She's like, wait. You're not, like, she's like, you're not afraid of cockroaches, right? And she's like, what? Me? No, absolutely not. She's literally so afraid. And you can just tell by her facial expression. She's like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? Barges in.
Like
barges
Rambo.
into the room.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fighting for her life. No, that scene was probably one of my favorite scenes. In that scene, I felt like we didn't get... It was... so it was On and May, but it felt like Namtan film.
Yeah.
In that scene.
Here's a question. Are you an an Un, or a May when it comes to cockroaches?
I'm definitely
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't give a flying F about cockroaches.
Yeah, no, I guess bugs don't scare me.
Okay.
The only, I don't know if it's considered a bug. Is a worm considered a bug? Or is it, I don't know, insect?
I say insect.
Okay, yeah, so bugs, I don't mind, but I'm afraid of worms. Like, that's probably the only thing. Like, if somebody told me to go into the room because they were afraid of worms and they wanted me to save them, I'm sorry, I'm dipping. I'm like, no can do. What about you?
I think I'm more of an too. Like, cockroaches don't bother me. I don't like them, but I mean, if I had to go in and catch one and take it outside or something, I could do that.
Okay.
I'm not that bothered by them. Mice, though, do not put me in a room with a mouse. I will jump on the nearest table. Do not put me in a room with a mouse.
I know what to scare you with now.
That's fine. I'll get a worm. I will hide a worm in your room when I come visit next year.
Don't you dare. And you know, the thing is that, like, I'm so afraid of, like, worms that I don't want to eat gummy worms either.
What?
Yeah.
Gummy worms are delicious.
I'd just rather eat a gummy bear. You know?
Man.
I know.
That's racist.
I'm discriminating.
He's discriminating against animals.
Right.
I can't do mice. So yeah, I could save May from a cockroach. That's fine.
You just can't save her from a mice.
No, not from a mouse. Mm-mm.
What about a rat?
No.
Okay.
It depends on if it's a pet rat. If it's a pet rat, then yeah, sure. If it's just a wild random rat, no. No.
That's funny. It basically ended with them falling onto the bed.
Yes. Almost a kiss. Almost.
Yes.
It cuts off. I mean, we got one in episode 1. They're gonna make. I have a feeling we're gonna be hanging until at least episode 4 or 5 for another actual kiss. So? I think so.
I say like at least. Okay, you say 4. I think 5 or 6 at least.
You know what we forgot to talk about?
Oh yes, I forgot to talk about the scene. I already know.
Your favorite scene.
Okay, you guys. I am not a pervert, but the scene where May gets out of the shower and she's sitting there in her robe. Why was she just lotioning up her legs like that? First of all,
you gotta be moisturized. You gotta be moisturized.
Okay.
Dry skin is a thing, especially when you get out of water. You gotta moisturize.
You know, I completely agree. We don't want no ashy Larry situation, but she knew what she was doing because that was a little too seductive, right?
I think we were all in that moment. Just watch.
Yeah, we were definitely all in that moment for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wish I could switch bodies just in that one moment with Namtan. Oh, I mean Un. Because I was like, wow.
I mean, you want to switch with Namtan too. Let's be clear. You want to switch with Namtan too.
That's true. You guys, listen. I love them both. I don't know who I want to be more. I don't know if I want to be Namtan more or Phil more. I'm just stuck because I love them both. But in that scene particularly, Un, she is a strong soldier. Because
she is very strong. But yeah. How do you feel about how forward May is? Let's talk about that. Because May is very forward.
Okay. You know, I love that. If we're talking about, like, preference-wise, I prefer somebody that's more forward, but not coming off, like, too aggressive, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think only because sometimes my personality can be... I'm a little bit more on the shyer side, so... I would definitely prefer somebody that's a little bit more forward because sometimes I feel like I can be passive and I know that's not a good thing. But yeah, and I like that May is forward, but in like a cutie type of way sometimes. But like it's like cutie seductive, and you're like,
yeah,
because she's seductive, but then her face is just so cute. Then she has those dimple whiskers, and you're like, damn, you're confusing me. I'm not like. Am I turned on or like what? Or I don't know what I'm feeling right now. You know?
I can't. Well, we talked about this before. I said I said I feel like May is very forward. Like, she's very flirtatious.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she's that person who's very flirtatious and forward until you call her out on it and you be like, okay, fine, let's do this. And then she's going to get all shy. That's what I feel like is going to happen later on in the series. Yeah, I feel like she's going to be so forward and is going to be like, okay, I think I'm ready now. You know what? Let's go ahead and do this. And May's gonna get real nervous, kind of like how she did with the whole cuddling thing, because she was kind of caught off guard with the cuddling thing when Un initiated, and then she's like, "Oh, we've never done this before." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
So, here's what I think. I think that she is a type to like test the waters until. She likes to double dip. And she does that. And she does that in a tasteful way because it's like, what can I get away with? So I don't think that, so for example, if Un was the one that was initiating, I think that May would be all for it. I don't think she's going to be like, oh no, I'm shy. I think she'll be like, oh.
Wait, don't do that. Don't do that.
What just happened?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Okay, you guys, I'm sorry. I think I was too excited.
She got too excited.
But we did have that scene in the episode when she was. Oh wait, no, sorry. It's in the next. It's in episode 3. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Yep. Oh, we can make a bet. Let's make a bet. I say May's gonna be super shy and nervous once Un initiates. If Un initiates, you say she's gonna be really excited. We'll see who wins.
She's gonna go for it. Okay. Okay.
We'll see who wins.
Comment down below.
Yeah.
What you guys think? If you guys think that May is gonna go for it, or you guys think that she is going to be super shy.
Yeah. I'm curious. Team Jazz or Team Linda? Which one are you on?
Which team? Let us know.
I'm curious.
That was our recap of episode 2. It was a good episode. I think a lot happened during this episode. I mean, clearly. Still a lot of questions that are unanswered, but definitely a lot of questions that were also answered as well. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, our podcast, please like, comment, and subscribe. And also follow us on our social medias as well. Yeah. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.
Bye-bye.